Welcome to The Report, I'm Glenn Dunks. This week we talked to two Bruces, both veterans of the Aussie movie industry. Director Bruce Beresford and actor Bruce Spence. Bruce Beresford's career was launched on the success of the iconic comedy The Adventures of Barry Mackenzie. And while Bruce is now reluctant to talk too much about it, it is interesting that even George Miller cites the Barry Mackenzie movies as inspirational in his career, especially the hard slog to create the first Mad Max movie. Of course, Bruce went on to direct more than 30 films, including the popular Aussie movies The Getting of Wisdom, Don's Party, Breaker Morant, Money Movers, The Club, and Puberty Blues, and then to Hollywood where he helmed Oscar-winning Driving Miss Daisy and Tender Mercies, before returning to Australia to direct Mao's Last Dancer.
Been a lot of Australian films of tremendous interest made since the early 70s, probably well over 1,000, maybe more. And unless these films are digitised and made available by something like Ozflix, they will never be seen by an Australian public. I mean, it's in the interest not just of entertainment, but of the history of our country. It'd be fantastic to be able to dig up all those films, so many of them forgotten, which shouldn't have been forgotten, digitise them and make them available is a brilliant idea. I should imagine it'd be fairly expensive, and there's a lot of research involved, but it should be done.
Bruce Spence was there at the very beginning of the Aussie film renaissance too. As the co-star of Stork with Jackie Weaver, Bruce soon soared to international prominence with his unforgettable appearance in Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, then again in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, and has appeared in over 100 movies, including Finding Nemo, Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, The Lord of the Rings, The Chronicles of Narnia, The Matrix Revolutions, I, Frankenstein, and most recently, The Gods of Egypt.
Many people don't understand that we have a very rich cinema history that goes back to the silent films, and that we could benefit from greatly from seeing these wonderful pieces. And they really are truly, some of them I think are masterpieces. But I just feel that as Australians we're not complete as people unless we're aware of these great pieces and we see them. We have access to them. They tell us who we were, and as a result of that, we know who we are. It's all very well to tell a story today, a nice contemporary story, but unless you know the history of what's come before, you cannot appreciate that idiosyncratic Australian style, the Australian soul that has been expressed right from those very, very early sound movies, like the Dad and Dave movies, and like the George Wallace films that I was just overwhelmed by. One of the great performers of our day here, who's equally as talented as the Marx Brothers.
Both Bruce Beresford and Bruce Spence are strong supporters of Ozflix and our film foundation, the AFFF, and will be appearing on the platform when we launch later this year.
For an Aboriginal, their dreaming is what makes them, what keeps them alive, what makes them get up in the morning. It's vital to them. And for me, Australian films are our dreaming. And without Ozflix, we have no dreaming. Modern Australian culture has no dreaming if we don't have Australian films, or we don't have access to these Australian films. And without Ozflix, we have no dreaming.
I think it's almost tragic to think that films disappear and no one can ever see them again. I mean, the idea of having a website or some facility to be able to watch them is extraordinary.
In order to find all the Aussie movies out there, this month we are launching the Great Aussie Film Hunt. If you have a film you want to see on the platform or have produced an Aussie feature film, please get in touch with us now at the address on the screen. That's it from us this week. To keep up with everything Ozflix related, leave your email address with us at the Ozflix homepage, ozflix.tv.